Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm gonna do a little challenge here. So I know some of you guys out there have small dents in your car that you won't mind getting rid of without paying the shop for it. So I want to try out two methods to see if either of them work. I'm working on my Tesla. This is an aluminum body, so it may not work the same as far as on a non-aluminum body car, especially some of those thin gauge metal sheet metal panels on some of these cars, especially American-made cars nowadays. But what I want to look at is to compare this method where they heat up the panel, get it up to a certain temperature, and then spray the cold air onto it for it to shock it back into its location, versus the one where you glue on little tabs onto the dent, and then you use this little tool right here to actually pull it out to see if either one of them work on a aluminum body Tesla or if they work at all. So let's take a look at this challenge. So today we're out here at my 2017 Tesla Model X, and I want to try something, and this will actually be applicable no matter what kind of car you have, but I'm particularly curious about this because the Teslas have aluminum bodies, so I want to see if this works. There's a trick out there that some claim works and some say they don't, that I want to give it a try. So I have a couple of dings, well, a bigger one on the back, if you can see that right there. Let me zoom in. Right there on the back, and I have just a typical little small one on the side door. And there's a trick out there, whereas if you take a can of compressed air, and so people were using hair dryers, but if you take your hair dryer, in my case I'm going to use a heat gun, and you heat up to the area, get it nice and hot, not too hot though, especially given that for a Tesla their paint is notoriously pretty thin. And so you want to heat up the area, and then you want to quickly take your compressed air, hold the can upside down, so you're basically getting all that cold air coming out of there right onto the heated area, and that quick shock of going from hot to cold will pop it back into place. So let's give it a try. All right, so the first thing we want to do is wipe this down. I don't have too much hope for it because this is a body line right here, and that's like a 90-degree body line at that right there. So I don't foresee anything happening here. I'm curious if it gets some of this out down here. So zero chances of it getting this out though. And when doing this, maybe you want to have one of those temperature readers so you can see how hot the surface is getting. All right, right now it's pretty hot to the touch. Could probably be hotter, but let's give it a try and see what happens. So I'll take it and I'll spray it upside down. Ha, I gotta remove that. All right, I would say that really didn't do anything at all. Wasn't high hopes, but let's move it around to the smaller one and see if we can do something about that one. All right, I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see this, but it's a very small one, and it is right here. If you look at the siding on the house, you can see it distorting from its reflection. That's where it's at. You see that, how I'm moving it around? You can see the distortion. That's the one I'm gonna try. I think this is the best candidate for that. Right here. right, let's try it. I would say that is still a fail. Let's give it the reflection test. Right here. It's harder to find it now, so here we go, right here. Yep, it's still there. But I want to try to see if I can get them out with one of these kits over here you get off of Amazon. About 30 bucks for it. You got a dent puller, glue gun. You got to come with a little bottle down here to put some rubbing alcohol in there, and all the little pieces you need for pulling the dent out, and glue sticks too as well, and a few other things that I really won't be using for this. But I have one up here, a bit more major. As you can see, the paint is off. I don't have much hopes for that one because on this 90-degree body line right here, that requires a bit more than just pulling on it. Got one down here, which I feel like it has a good chance of getting that one off. You can kind of see that one there. And there's one right here, I'm not sure if you can tell. Probably can from the little distortion right there. That one I want to try to get to as well. So let's see if we can make this happen. All right, so after thoroughly cleaning the area, you want to take whichever size you think is appropriate for the dent you have. I'm gonna go with this one. Take your glue gun, turn it on, little green light, let it heat up, and then as you feed it through, and apply it in a centralized area of the dent. Now you're going to take your puller, and your puller got this right here, adjust this up and down so you can just determine how much tension you have on there. These parts right here will be on the body of your car. This is where your puller, where the tab you just glued on is going to go in there. And when you squeeze this down, it's going to pull that up. And depending on where you have it set at, it will depends on just how much pulling action will happen, whether it's going to be a little or a lot of pulling up on it. So I think I will let it out most of the way at the beginning. Bring you guys around this way. All right, now I want to tighten this up to adjust it so it's nice and snug. And at this point, I'm going to try pulling up on it and see what happens. That didn't last for a second. All right, let's give that a try again. All right, let's see. Hopefully it was because the glue wasn't hot enough. The glue definitely needs to be pretty hot. So I'll try to get it on there much quicker this time. All right, let's try it again. Here it is. I'll go from this angle this time. You can see it going on. Let me let it out a bit first. There we go. Tighten it up. I actually liking just pulling this up actually. It's actually pulling it up. Not sure if you guys can tell. Let it sit there for a second. I don't think it's going to do much for that. It did a good job on pulling it, and it did lift it up, but I'm pretty sure it kind of just recessed back down to its original location. If you have a hard time getting the glue off, I just spray a little bit of the alcohol on there. That may help you to get it off. So no luck on this one. This one will require the body man to take care of that. Let's go down to this next one over here. Maybe this smaller one here would be perfect. My hot glue, just to help make sure we got good adhesion. I just want to spray a little alcohol on there. Clean that off. All right. That. All right, so now after your glue has set, we're going to take it, come on up from the bottom, and I'll start to screw this back out. And like the other one, instead of using the handle, I'm just going to keep using the knob over here to work on pulling that out. Popped off maybe a little too early. So let's give it a try again. All right, let's see if second time's the charm. That's the second time, so I gave it 2 different tries and no luck. I'm suspecting too because the body line down here is too strong for this. So let's go someplace where we don't have a body line to contend with. All right, there it is there. Clean the area. All right, let's take our puller and see if we have success on this one. it did absolutely nothing. Not even a little bit. Wonder if it made it even bigger. So as you were able to see, both of those methods were a fail. I had absolutely zero benefit from using this method, and this method was equally just as equal as a failure as the other. So yeah, I would call both of those busted as far as when it comes to an aluminum body Tesla. Maybe on your car that is not aluminum body, you may have better results. Let me know down in the comment section.